What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Another day, another workout. Basically, it's just something I do to just you know talk to you and get a workout in. Try to get this at least every other day or two. The last workout was about a couple hours, but I was talking and I was saying some good things, and then Iori he came in and you know came up with the idea talking about how the average person, as far as income, is just almost non-existent. Uh, being basically his premise was, you know, you've heard this quite a bit, and this is actually a big argument amongst Gen X on down. Basically, the average income earner does not have full access to the quote unquote American dream, such as a house, being able to support a family, uh, you know, being able to pay for cost of living. So, yeah, that was something that it just kind of like, yeah, um, very intriguing conversation. It was well worth it. I pretty much think I kind of slept on the train a little bit and took a took a nap at work. Well, I normally do that anyway, but it was when I look back at the time and everything, I was like, you know what, man, it was good conversation is almost classical, you know. So I had no remorse over how long the time went as far as the live stream. Very good conversation. So yeah, I mean, but speaking about that again, piggyback on that is that yeah, I mean, the average person to have that very um, exact existence or lifestyle, let's just say, you would need to make more than what most companies pay. Most companies they they don't pay you enough to um, keep up with the cost of living, basically. So um, it's not necessarily all of the companies' fault. The companies back then they they definitely pay workers, but it's also another side to this as well. The other side to this is um, just basically the cost of goods, the cost of um, housing, cars. It's expensive. It's very very expensive. People have paid for these items and put up some fuss, but these items are expensive. I mean, that's one aspect that is not really talked about. Okay, well, yeah, you could blame the rich for, as far as that as well too, but yeah, the cost of housing, just the overall cost of goods um, and services as well, it's astronomical. So you know, years prior, let's just say decades prior, those costs were not as expensive. I mean, it just wasn't that expensive, for housing, for cars, just all of a sudden to compete with a lot of different variables, corporate greed, you can say, and even people feeding into corporate greed, because corporate greed is fed by people that pay for it. Like all of the people that pay for these, you know, uh, goods. From a cell phone to a car to a house, there's people paying for these things. A lot of them are using credit. A lot of them are, paying for these goods. Um, Paying for these you know these goods, man. That's and then the average worker, he's priced out. He or she is priced out. Okay, so you can also, here's another third uh look at this, is why also you can say this has something to do with the issues with dating and mating in America. Okay, it's something that was said by BGS and more, and I definitely not only agree, but I have the stats to prove it, as well as just my own life as far as what I've seen. Um, when when the economy is unstable, where basically like the average person is priced out, that mirrors, or that goes into dating and mating. What is things going on right now? I mean, as far as dating and mating, as I get my slow burn on this exercise bike. So you have women that they have exorbitant amounts of demands as far as what they want their particular suitor, as far as male suitor, to make as far as income. They want someone that makes over $100,000, right? That's what you get. That's how Kevin Samuels blew up, because you had a lot of women that was delusional about how rare that over 100K guy was. That 100K guy, race unexclusive, race unexclusive, less than 10% of males make over $100,000. Okay, when you get down to the black men that make over $100,000 in America, just think about how hard America is for black men, and think about how rare it is for $100,000 dude that's black in America, to how rare that is. And you will understand, yes, it's 1%. Only 1% of black men make over $100,000. So when you come to that conclusion, when you break that, when you know that, like a lot of times women, they don't even really, it doesn't register to them the reality. It's about feelings, and it's about what I believe, and all of this stuff, right? Well, that's the figure. And that's why, that conversation, it quickly goes into, I need to get me a white dude, you know, even though even white dudes don't even make $100,000. Um, like as far as in mass, or, like I said, over less than 10% of even white men make over $100,000. Because that wasn't the gauge. That was not needed. 50 years ago, this is, you're talking 1970. You didn't need $100,000. You didn't even need $50,000 to have a good lifestyle. Probably, most likely, $30,000 would have done it. $30,000 a year was enough to get a house, a car, and take care of your family. So I mean, fast forward to 2023, you having you had, I came up, I remember the 99, the um Occupy Wall Street movement, you know, that was primarily white people, young white people that was pissed off with the upper class in the United States. They were pissed off. Um, they were seeing that, this is a bridge to nowhere. I'm tired of this shit. And they kind of, put up a fuss. Now, what brought it? What came from that? Um, I'm not really sure. I think a lot of those people got jobs, and then you know they got mortgages. As far as what I gather, as far as what they got, um, because the economy did stabilize to where jobs came as far as back and whatnot, and after 2008, 2009, things got back to where people were employed. So you give people money and jobs. It's kind of like you bribe them off. You know you keep them busy and employed and well fed, and they don't have much to complain about. But I remember that. I remember that walking through downtown, seeing the Occupy Wall Street guys complaining, um, complaining and uh, um, protesting, the 1%. Okay, and when I say 1%, I'm talking about primarily the elite that are primarily the 1% is like you want to say at least $20 million a year. Those people, those you know, um, kind of like millionaires primarily, and you could even say global elites. It goes into that, but the whole 99% is basically people that basically getting by to struggling to middle class even. They were complaining. Now, like I said, the whole like dating and mating. One of the reasons why that is so big of an issue, why this whole gender war shit is such an issue, it is because of the whole income imbalance, as far as what income is what how much income is needed to buy goods and services versus um, you know decades prior. It is such an imbalance that feeds into dating and mating. It's harder to date and mate in a society where goods and services cost so much, and you're not. It's very challenging to make enough income to pay for those goods and services. Um, that leads to fighting, competitiveness. Uh, Women don't feel comfortable, just kind of taking risks and uh, even being, free to kind of enjoy themselves, or even I want to say free to love, or free to uh, enjoy dating, because it's just I mean, it's kind of hard to feel all romantic and shit when you're struggling to pay for rent and to pay for a mortgage or even find housing. It's just not romantic. It's not, it's not really that enjoyable when when most people are financially struggling. You know, I could just say back in the early '90s, mid '90s, I remember that people were having a good time. Um, it was a lot more easier to date. It was a lot easier to get jobs. I remember that time. I could say without even looking at stats or anything like that, I can hands down say that it's some very much truth in what I'm saying as far as the whole average argument of trying to make a living to pay for the imbalance of goods and services. It leads into dating and mating. I've seen it with my own eyes. I experienced it, you know. So that's another thing that I didn't talk about yesterday that comes to mind as well, that is related to this issue, you know. So um, what do you do about that? What do I do about that? What do I do about that imbalance? Um, I'm not. I'm more leaning towards the $100,000 kind of mark or whatever, or know, more more than I am on the opposite side of that, where I'm barely struggling making to get by. So that's one aspect of it as far as me personally. And then also secondarily, I'm highly financially educated, highly financially disciplined. I'm very disciplined overall. So I'm able to do things a lot of people are not willing to do. That's how I'm able to get by. You know, I'm able. I'm willing to buy real estate in less desired neighborhoods to save costs, to save money. I'm willing to even buy things secondhand. Most things I buy, even electronics, definitely electronics, I buy used because it's no need for me to buy anything brand new for the most part. As long as it works, it doesn't matter if it's brand new. You know, I'm not really collecting anything or anything like that. So a lot of stuff I buy used in good condition. You know, so that's one way I deal with it. Um, and I try to save money because one of the things about saving money is that if you do have money, you're able to buy things other people can't. You're able to maximize returns on investments because you got the actual money to buy the investment. You need money to invest, right? So if you got money, if you got money saved, you can invest. You know, so that's why I say, save your money. That's why I wrote the book, Millionaire Savings Plan, because you need money to get 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 into investing. Okay. All right. What's going on? I already said ever look into mortgage notes. I heard people talking about it. I definitely heard people talking about it. You know, I definitely I've heard people talking about that. Don't really know that much about it. Um, the tax sale thing is big though. I will say that the tax sale idea is something that I've talked about on my channel, but definitely is something that is a game changer, I believe, for people that want to actually buy multiple parcels of real estate. Because, like for example, again, my house, my house that I'm in now, that I paid uh $10,000 for, the guy that bought the house This very house, he got it at a tax sale for $500. Okay, so where do you think you get your, if I would have gotten the the tax sale, if I was able to go to a tax sale the same year he did, which was probably went to the tax sale, I think probably 2018. So if I had the means or the money at the time, I come with 3 grand, which that's what I gave him as far as a down payment for the $10,000. For I gave him 3,000 down and it's like 24 months of payments of like $300. Plus I had to pay the taxes. If I would have came with 3 grand at the tax sale, I would have been able to buy 5 properties with that $3,000. So here's the thing. I got one property I could fix up and try to move into as fast as I can. And then I got 4 more that I could leverage. That I can, I can actually, I don't have to worry about wholesaling. I could do this, right? And this is what he did. I can set up a seller financing agreement with those other 3 or 4. Or what, it might be some that I want. Because if I have a brick house, I'm gonna keep the brick houses and I'm gonna sell the other one. So I sell like, okay, let's just say I sell like I'll keep 2 and try to seller finance the other 3. So I would just set up a seller financing agreement for or try to I would do this. I would put the houses on the market and then I also give the option for seller finance. So basically I can sell the properties and then I'll keep 1 or 2. And then next thing you know, I done already made my 3 grand back. It's a redemption period. Indiana has a shorter redemption period. And also it's different laws per what the real estate was involved. I think like it's a different redemption period if the property is already vacant. I think if it's like the property is already vacant, like you can you can go into the property within like uh less than like 6 months or something like that. So that's that's something that I missed the last year's tax sale, but this next year's tax sale is about 7 months away. It's about 7 months away. So I already made a date in the calendar book. I just got to prepare for it. And then, next thing you know, I got, 4 or 5 or 6 properties and then the one that I already had. And now, basically that's an opportunity for me to step my game up and become actually a property, have a portfolio of properties instead of just one. So that's a pretty good idea right there. So yeah, um, but yeah, I mean that's that. But yeah, definitely, like I said, it was a good conversation. So I it did take longer than I thought it was gonna take, but yeah, it was cool. You know, it was worth it. I think a lot of people they need conversation like that because it's like people don't really talk about this stuff. They're talking about all kind of other crap, and that's fine. I got the picture of the thumbnail of that submarine that a bunch of guys went down to look at the Titanic wreck or something like that. And basically, they're missing. They're trying to find them. they're rushing to try to find them. I mean, I don't really know if that like here's the things. These are the things that I don't really understand. Okay, one, even it's quote unquote a rescue mission. You thousands of miles under the sea. How can you rescue these people? How what are you gonna like try to hitch some type of tow line? I guess that's what they're gonna try to do. Hitch a tow line to the submersible submarine and then try to pull it back up. I mean, what are they gonna like? You know, hop out the sub at that 1,000 feet? I don't know, like what they were planning to do. But I mean, it's like it's safe to say these guys are probably they're planning a funeral pretty much. Couple of these guys they said were billionaires. Um, you know, the submersible is something that's kind of like a prototype or something. It's not uh really tested properly. Uh, I had no idea that they even had, I didn't know anything about their company or their submersible. Not really into that. That's not really my thing that I watch submersible submarines and shit. That's just not something I'm into. But apparently these guys were into it. So it just kind of, I'm not making fun of these guys. Like, I see on social media, people are making fun. They got all of these submarine memes and shit. I mean, at the end of the day, that shit ain't cool, man. That just shows how much of, you know, kind of like just people just are so cold. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are just they don't give a fuck, man. Like literally, this is how social media is. Just in case you thought people actually gave a hell, you can like you can get hit by a car. They can videotape it. Somebody can videotape you getting hit by a car. Your whole body separated or whatever. Your head pop open, whatever. You just fall. You just your body just goes 20 feet in the air and then just comes back down. Man, people will just basically you'll just be the entertainment for that day, week, or however long it trends on social media. And then basically that's it. Like people will literally laugh at your demise. Now, this thing is pretty viral because of who's involved. These people are basically the uber elite. These are the uber wealthy people that I've been talking about for a long time. Like, I guess it's like a way to make fun of the basically these guys are basically oligarchs. Um, you know, I don't know if they were plutocrats because plutocrats is like kind of like basically plutocrats are rich people that are into politics. Okay, like a lot of rich people are into politics, so it kind of goes hand in hand. Um, but definitely they were wealthy individuals. They had a hobby, obviously, going into submersible submarines. They got caught down there. Um, they haven't surfaced, so they sent a rescue team to go down there and see what's going on. I think the last signs I heard is that they heard some noise down there, some banging or something. Um, One or two things happen with this situation. Either they fake their own death, which is perfect because you got witnesses, the whole world is witnessing, or they actually are going to die. Or they might rescue them. I have no fucking idea. In my as far as how I look at it, probably they will not get rescued, but I don't know. When more have too much money and too much time leads to useless uses of time. I mean, that's what I was thinking, kind of to a certain extent. This is what people don't realize. They do realize it to a certain extent, right? Even poor people get bored. That's why poor people tend to be a lot of times outside. That's why a lot of people that you see these little ghetto car shows, and that's what's going on in Chicago. They like outside. They like we got chicks twerking on cars, twerking in the middle of the street. They having these little car shows and shit. A lot of times, like yeah, boredom. Like um, that's another thing. Like women they don't like certain guys because is guys are certain guys are boring. For example, I could almost tell you I'm a boring dude. I think Iori probably is a boring dude. I mean, most of the people that probably listen to me, they or don't like me listening to me is because I'm a boring ass dude. Not to say that my life ain't sometimes interesting, whatever. I'm very much like my online world and my offline world. I mean, um, I don't do a lot of things like I used to, but my life offline is somewhat static and pretty boring for most people, and I like it that way. That way you have to live like that really if you want to be. Well, I'm not gonna say you have to live like that to be extremely successful, but in my opinion, that helps because um you gotta think like right. So I say, okay, yeah, poor people can't really. A lot of poor people can't really deal with boredom. Um, a lot of times that's why a lot of times people in the hood they get shot up because they wait for them to come outside. Sometimes they even shoot up people's houses because they never do come outside. They know, damn, if I come outside, I'm getting shot up, so I'm gonna stay in the house. So they'll try to shoot up the house. But um, I think that a lot of times I wish when I was younger that I stayed in the house more. But what I'll say is this: a lot of people don't want to deal with boredom because they it's a few things. Like one, a lot of times people have parasites. People that can't sit still. I even see a lot of adults. They can't sit still. They can't focus. 9 times out of 10, they got parasites in their body. Humans that can't. They have no patience and they always moving. They always got to move. They don't even know it. They got parasites in their body. The, my number one video, I didn't have anybody on my channel. It was like less than 2 minutes, I think. It was about taking apple cider vinegar to eliminate parasites. Basically, I did that video did over 11,000 views. And the reason why is, yeah, a lot of people have parasites inside of their body. That's why they can't sit still. They can't focus. The actual thought of meditation is so boring to them because they can't even imagine meditating because they can't sit still. Even children and babies and stuff like that, you know, they have parasites inside their body. That's why they can't sit still. And then also sugar as well. Sugar basically makes you very impulsive. It's like cocaine. It's a stimulant. So yeah, that's one aspect of it. And then another thing, when it's hot, a lot of times poor people don't got no damn AC. They don't have no cool. They don't have no air conditioning, no adequate cooling inside their house. So they got to come outside because they can't stay cool inside. So yeah. when it comes down to being boring and shit like that, that's how you actually make money. Long years and years of like perpetual boredom of working, investing, working different streams of income, putting time into those things are absolutely boring to most people. Okay. Like, I mean, I do some exciting things, but yeah, it's boring. The process of making money, investing, looking at charts, looking at new investment strategies, reading books, taking courses, those things are very, very boring. And it takes a certain level of boredom to actually be able to do those things. I ain't gonna lie to you. But um, just because people are able to do those things doesn't necessarily make them boring. It's a strategy. I don't do the things I do because I don't want to have fun and be a total fucking lush and Epicurean and just have constant daily pleasure. I absolutely want to do those things. I have desires. Like it's very fun. I know to do those things, but I don't do them because it's a fucking strategy. It's a long term strategy for me to cover ground, make money, and make my money, make more money. So it's not that I want to actually my life to be boring. It's just a strategy. And a lot of times women are too dumb to understand that, or then when they realize it, it's too late. But um, they'll go with certain guys that take more risks and are always outside and constantly into some shit. And then next thing you know, I mean, something goes down if they're really taking risks. The guy goes to jail, they both go to jail. You know, uh, and it's like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll tell you, I've been there. I've been to jail. It's not something you want to go. So it's very much one of the things about people that have, you know, changed their life around. They definitely stayed their ass more in the house, and they, more conscious about what they do and their actions. And those things are boring. That's fine. It, but I'll just say, just because you think somebody's boring, they're boring because it's a strategy. It's a lifestyle strategy. People can do whatever the hell they want to, but they don't do it because it's a strategy. Most people. I'll just speak for myself. I mean, it's definitely a strategy for me. But the thing is that all of that aside, back to just think about it, right? Even the idea, okay, think about having $10 million, $100 million, $10 billion, $1 billion. That lifestyle is, like I said, once you get to $100,000 as a black man in America, you are 1% in your group. In your group, a black man making over $100,000. If I make over $100,000 this year, I'm in the 1 percentile as far as earners in America, as far as in my group. Okay, just think of how isolated that is compared to everybody else, as far as in your group, as far as being an African American male making over $100,000, being 1%, 1 percentile individual amongst everybody else. Now, think about this. Now you've got $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion, $10 billion. Where are you at amongst everybody else, as well as even your peers? You're in the 0.00001 percentile of your group, and then even amongst the general population, you're like, once you get over like literally $1 million, you go into the point, basically 1 percentile, and then even the 0.1 percentile. You you become after $10 million uber wealthy. Uber wealthy, meaning you have more money than most people will in their entire lifetime. You have more money than some people have in their entire family. You can buy somebody's family, literally. Most people make like less than $100,000. We already know that. Well, you could buy somebody's mama, daddy, cousin, grandma, uncle. You could all hire them and they could work for you. And you might have money left over. And especially when you go to the $100 million as far as earnings category, definitely do. You know, you got damn near you start to have this conversations about you got more money, you got enough money as God has. And then billion dollars, $10 billion, that is inconceivable by most people because here's the thing. I will be honest with you. $100,000 really ain't no big deal as far as like it ain't like you got it all at one time. You've earned it over a period of several months or a whole year. Well, once you get to $1 million and $10 million, things get really, really isolated and more boring. Okay, meaning, yeah, you're gonna go take trips and everything if that's what you want to do, but it gets fucking boring. And really, to be honest, like once you get, just think about it. You got $100 million, you got $1 billion, $10 billion. You ain't got that many friends. Most people in that category, they only have a small group of friends. They really can't make new friends because all their new friends, if they make them, will just be freeloaders. Nobody really wants a bunch of freeloaders around them. So you have a very, very small group of individuals that know you, that talk to you on a regular basis. Because let's just face it, once you really get to where you're making $500,000, let's just say $250,000, which is like, let's just say $250,000 to $300,000 a year. Even at that point, your friends start to drop off. You start to pretty much separate, understand, most of my peers, most of my friends, they're not going to really be, I'm not going to be able to hang with them because basically they're going to just be hitting me up for money. I'm going to be basically the person that they call when they need $1,000 or $100. I can't have casual conversations because at the end of the day, they know that I have a lot of money and they don't. So you start to, gradually kind of shape your life to where you become even more isolated, less friends, less people that that you can really talk to because you gotta basically be around people that make about the same amount of money that you have and if not more. So that's very, very boring. That's even more boring. Your daily life, let's just say at $10 million, $100 million, you have basically enough money to pay for housing. Problems are never an issue. Cars are not an issue at that point. You got probably most likely a business, or even if you're an investor, you got tax problems, maybe tax issues or tax obligations. I mean, pretty much you pay those and then complain about them, right? You can go anywhere in the world if you want to go, as far as if you got a passport, you can take trips and everything like that. As far as on that level, I mean, you probably gonna, if you don't have someone, you get a matchmaker and you find somebody, through that, or basically pay for a girlfriend, whatever the hell you do on that level. I mean, you do it, but that's not really a problem, really. I mean, because whatever the case may be, you could get a woman to basically you can enjoy a woman the best way you can, whatever you got to work with. I mean, I don't know. Like I ain't never had that amount of money, but I could just imagine it being a guy that just regular guy struggling or whatever, or barely making it to just, kind of just, making it or whatever. I mean, you can, basically be like a fly guy at that point. I mean, after you make like a couple $100,000 a year, you could actually be a fly guy. Meaning, when I say fly guy, like I mean you got nice clothes. I mean, basically, you could look like Kevin Samuels, but even better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you got $10 million, $100 million, you literally are a fly guy. I mean, you got your own small plane, you got a pilot license. I mean, you got a Breitling, you got a Rolex Presidential, whatever type of Rolex you got. I mean, the way you look, you don't even, at that point, if you know how to dress, you know how to buy clothes and stuff, you don't even look like everybody else. When people see you, and definitely women see you, they know you're not no regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Your car ain't regular. You know what I'm saying? You don't even drive through the hood. Only time you drive through the hood is going to on the expressway, and your car. I mean, your car is like, you know what I'm saying, basically a spaceship. So I mean, women see that. I'm not gonna say that that's a way to get, the woman of your dreams or something like that. I'm not gonna say all that, because that kind of goes into basically, like, I don't want to say tricking. It's not necessarily tricking, but you going into like trying to entice women with money kind of thing, but not really, because to be honest, um, you got women that got money too, and they look good. They know what to buy, and they have what they have, and it's like an enhancement to a certain degree, as far as, like, you can see they got nice clothes, they got a nice car and shit like that. So I'm not gonna say that that's like a bonus, you know what I'm saying? But if you gotta, on that level, I would say you would have to be very, very careful, because you have things that entices women, and it's not like, you know what I'm saying, you getting it off of the strength or the struggle. Because when you get things off of, well, it's a couple things, right? Like, if you like an everyday dude, when you meet a woman, you either gonna meet somebody that makes a woman that makes more than you, or she gonna make about the same or less. And she gonna treat you genuinely, she gonna genuinely like you. Well, if you got a lot of money, um I mean, it's like finding out a woman that genuinely likes you. It might be kind of more difficult. I don't know. I mean, you could still get women though without. I don't think, like, the whole like paying for women thing, like, it's kind of weird to me. I mean, like, I don't know. It is to me, because, like, I remember these athletes. They used to have groupies chasing them and stuff like that. I don't know what these young athletes nowadays, what things they got set up, but like superstars and stuff, they had women that were like waiting in the hotel lobbies and shit, and chasing them. They was at the club. They had to have bodyguards and shit to, basically keep people back. I mean, like, I don't think they was paying women to sleep with them. The women were like honored to sleep with these guys, man. These guys was like pantheon, like gods. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan and the Scottie Pippins and um all these NBA stars and whatnot. I mean, these dudes was like gods, man, to these women. Like they would chase them from city to city, and like basically Michael Jordan's ex-wife, um, I think her name was Marquita. I think it's Marquita, yeah. She was a groupie, basically. She was his groupie, man. And you know what I'm saying? She got, I think he got her pregnant. Paying the cover charge at a club. The cover charge is like $30. You know, the drinks. Women get drinks for free for the most part, but they gotta pay that cover. They gotta pay for parking. They gotta, buy the outfit, or they gotta, what I'm saying, pay some money to get to the location. They going out their way to get to the club or to get to the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to get to you, and you know what I'm saying, and then you turn around and pay them. That's crazy. I don't know what's going on now versus like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. But I mean, I wouldn't see myself if I was a rich and famous person. I'm an NBA top draft pick. I'm not paying no women, man, to sleep with them. I'm sorry. I'm not. I just that don't make no sense. Like, I'm a household name. I'm a rare dude. Like, why would I need to pay to sleep with a woman? Like, it's so many women that like it's women wearing my jersey and shit. Why the fuck would I pay a broad to sleep with her? Like that just don't make any sense to me. But what I'm talking about is you got a lot of people, they not famous, they just rich. You know what I'm saying? Like these submarine guys, you ain't know who these guys were until they, got lost down in the sea in a submersible sub. So they had rich, they were rich, uber rich, but you ain't know who they was until now. You still don't know who these guys is. I don't know who these guys is because I have, you know, looked into it, but I haven't thoroughly did no video on it or nothing. But a couple of these guys are billionaires. Um, One of them got a stepson that said he went to a Blink 82 concert or Blink 182, I don't know. And then he said he was doing it to cope. And he said, what am I supposed to do? Just sit around and wait for, you know, my daddy's funeral? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was tweeting about a Blink 182 concert and shit. Not nothing about his stepdaddy or nothing like that. But I don't know, like stepchildren, they don't really give a fuck about they stepdaddy and shit like that. Like I'm gonna just say that, like a lot of step kids, they don't really. That's kind of somewhat normal for stepchildren to not really care about they stepdaddy. You know, um, that's I find that somewhat normal. I will say a lot of those people they grow up to be kind of assholes. Most people that have that mindset that they don't really give a fuck about their stepdaddy, or they take their stepdaddy for granted. They grow up to be, they grow up to have severe, like they grow up to be kind of like pricks, is what I'm saying. Because yeah, a lot of times, man, people they undervalue their stepdad. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but yeah, I don't really know nothing about these dudes, but they rich. You know, they bored. Rich people get bored. You know, that's basically what I'm saying. Um, you know, in Nepal, you know, near Mount Everest, it's you know how many rich white dudes, white women, you know, rich people, period, they go try to climb Mount Everest. You know how many dead bodies that are along the path of the peak of Mount Everest? That just goes to show, like, I mean, these people are, you know, some of these people are super rich, but they wanted to climb Mount Everest. They wanted to, you know, attempt you know, climb of Mount Everest. They paid for it with their life. Whatever happened, they died. Their bodies are still there. They don't remove them because for whatever reason they're well preserved, and I mean they just there. They say it's like over 200 bodies of people that are just there that have died trying to climb Mount Everest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's what rich people be doing. Some shit like they be cave diving, they be fucking scuba diving, um, you know, trying to climb mountains and shit. They be jumping out of airplanes, skydiving. I mean, they be doing all kind of shit, man. They be sitting around, man, with all that money. It's only so many houses you like. To be honest, man, let's keep it real. That car you really want, after a while, it gets what? Boring to your ass. You tried everything you could to get that car. You used to dream about that car. You finally got that car. You could go back to you being a little boy. You wanted that bike. You wanted that video game console. Man, you got that bad boy after playing some games. Sooner or later it started collecting dust. Then the bike started collecting dust. You know what I'm saying? Like even people, even men get women. They get women and get bored of their women. Women get bored of their fucking men. And do you know how many women file divorce every day or go cheat on their husband because they bored, just boredom. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what people do. Like I don't know. Like to be honest, it's like it's that's why people need hobbies. That's why people need like stuff to fucking keep their life busy because they do shit like that. You know, I don't know. Like I mean, it is people that do go down in submersible submarines. That is a big deal. Like you got people that go try to find lost treasures and shit like that. That is a thing, right? You know, you got so many ships that go back tens of thousands of years. They done sank. They got gold treasures and um, diamonds and all kind of precious metals and artifacts in the fucking ocean that they from shipwrecks. Uh, people try to find them. You know what I'm saying? That is. I am aware of that. And I mean I understand that because that's like in the pursuit of in the pursuit of riches. Uh, You know, people go to uh shit, they do all kind of shit, man. You know, they go to go try to hike through the desert, through the Sahara Desert, all kind of stuff, man. People doing that shit right now. And it's not all rich people either. It's just people be bored, man. People just quit their job because they bored. They like, man, fuck this job. I can't stand this fucking job. And then they just quit their job. There's a bunch of people right now on the street homeless. I bet you they got a story of how they were bored doing some shit. And then they just, whatever, they start getting high, or they got tired of their job, they got tired of their spouse, and they made a bad decision. You know, some people just they like to have challenges in life. If they not challenged, they just feel bored. Me, I've already been through a lot of fucking challenges. I don't need no fucking new challenges. I mean, the whole thing about being black in America, it is a fucking thing. That is a challenge. It's a daily challenge. You don't gotta fucking find nothing to fucking do. A lot of times, being black in America is enough. That is a thing. A lot of people they don't think about it, but being fucking harassed by the police, everywhere you look at it as a fucking threat. I mean, everybody looking at you because you just fucking black. Like, they don't watch Fox News all day and CNN. They like, damn, this black guy, he's coming through, my neighborhood. What are you doing here? Like, I mean, it is a fucking thing. Like, being black in America is a fucking thrill ride, within itself. And it kind of goes into the whole thing where this is what I was thinking. You got what? How many billionaires can turn the neighborhood around? Or turn the city around? I was thinking to myself, right? How many? Okay, you got. I don't know how much them dudes collectively were worth as far as the billionaires that was in the submersible, or how many billions they had. But I'm gonna say this: one of the things about why Detroit has kind of somewhat turned around and Gary is being stagnant, it hasn't been any, like, as far as I know, wealthy investors that have really invested in Gary. As far as I know, like, not like Detroit. Like Detroit, you got Dan Gilbert. I think some of the people that own like Little Caesar Pizza and some shit. You got a lot of billionaire corporations, corporate, CEOs and shit, investors that have invested in Detroit. As far as I know, not that many people have invested in Gary, Indiana. I think that not just one, but a group of fucking billionaires can turn Gary around in like probably 10 years. And they don't even have to spend billions of dollars. They could, it would help. But I mean, literally, you could that could have been something that you did as a hobby. And you would have made money off of it. You'd have been the talk of the town, talking to you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like you got it kind of goes in the whole thing, like white folks will go, backpacking in Siberia where there's fucking saber-toothed tigers and shit. I mean, not saber-toothed tigers, I mean Siberian tigers. They'll go hiking in a bear-infested woods, but they won't walk through. They won't deal with black people in the ghetto. It's like that's the whole narrative of what I'm talking about. Like they will not roll their windows down, unlock their car doors in a black ghetto, but they'll go jump out of planes and all kind of shit. You know, it's kind of tripped out, man. That's kind of how I thought about it, But um, I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, what has already happened is these guys are they down at the bottom of the sea or some shit somewhere. Where the Titanic wreck is. So that's probably somewhere close to Greenland or some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's probably close to Greenland. Last time I checked. So I'm gonna take me a short break, short cool down, and do a walk or whatever. Give me some water. But yeah, I mean, it's boring. The whole thing is, this is what I say. To win, to be a winner, a lot of times it be boring. I ain't gonna lie. Like, to win in life, a lot of times that shit be boring. It is very, very boring to be a winner sometimes. Really, I'll say a lot of times. This is what I'm saying. Like, to be on top, to be a winner, a lot of times it's boring. It's fucking boring, man. Especially like if you like single, if you either single or divorced, and you don't really have nobody like regular that you with. Yeah, it could be boring. You know what I'm saying? It could be fucking boring. You know what I'm saying? It is. I can tell you it is boring, but you still winning. You still winning. Like, it's people, man. It's legit. Like, people that's homeless as fuck, man. I see them. I see homeless people every fucking day, man. I see them when I get on the train in Gary. They sleep on the train station. And then I see them when I come to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And most of these people are African American, primarily a few females. And I mean, compared to them, I'm winning. I'm winning like a motherfucker. I'm looking at my garage. Most people don't even have a fucking garage. I got a garage. I look at my garage and I be like impressed. Like, God damn, I got a fucking garage. So a lot of people that got houses don't even got garages. To build a garage, I think nowadays, let me see, what's the cost now to build a garage? Let's see, what's the cost to build a garage? I mean, shit, you gotta think about it, right? This dude bought this house from the tax sale for $500. The garage alone was worth $500. It's worth over that now. Yeah, so um let's see, it varies, but they talking about like the national average is $28,000, but typically it says $10,000 to $40,000 depending on location, materials, and size. I'm gonna tell you right now, for a $28,000 garage, what they talking about is basically a 4 to 5 car garage with like multiple windows. It's deluxe. It's about the size of a small home. That's the cost of a garage. But yeah, I would say definitely 10 grand. And that's you gotta build a concrete slab where you put a garage onto. The concrete slab alone, the dig out, the cement, and all of that, the labor to slab to create the concrete slab. That alone is about a couple grand. Then when you come into actually the materials and everything like that, yeah, you easily today's price is definitely about 10 grand, you know. So I'm like, I mean, on a small level, man, I look at it like I don't get it twisted. You know, I'm winning like a motherfucker compared to like, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, as I'm taking a break, you know, 2020, I was I had a room in my sister's rental that she was living in. My sister's rental. I had a room in her rental, the house that she rented. 2023, actually, shit, that same year, I got this house on contract. To 2023, the house is put all kind of material in here and you know, shit all over the place. Like I got enough fucking shit here to go to the flea market and make like 10 grand. You know, uh, basically, yeah, man. I don't get it twisted. Even on a small level, and I get and from time to time I get down about shit because it's like you want stuff done and you got tons of shit to do, you know. And then I'm the only one a lot of times doing it, and it's like you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I I I'm wealthy than a motherfucker compared to how it was, how things were 2020 to now. I mean, I shit. I mean, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just be like, wow, you know? And it's like, people kind of, they they downgrade what they have personally, and then other people also try to do that. But don't get it twisted. Like when the reality sets in, I realize like that I'm winning like a motherfucker, and it's like, you know, some people might be like, nah, I can't, I wouldn't want to deal with all of this shit. But it's like at the end of the day, I know, okay, yeah, okay, what to to have what a house already fixed up in a nice neighborhood or whatever, quote unquote nice neighborhood or a well-to-do neighborhood. I know what that costs. That's like right now about a quarter of a million to 300,000 to $500,000. Your ass gonna pay a mortgage for that, and that mortgage is gonna be high as a kite. So it's not like unless you already have the cash to buy it, as far as buy the actual property, which most people do not have, you're paying a mortgage, and your mortgage is close to what I gave the fucking dude to as a down payment to buy this house, $3,000, and you gotta pay that every single month without fail. You live good, like yeah, you live good, you live well. You got you know 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom bathroom house. So you got a probably a what 3 car garage or some shit, 2.5 car garage. You got a bedroom with a whirlpool tub in it, um, fireplace. You got the works. You got a nice premium house, right? But you paying for that motherfucker, man. You got a mortgage. I ain't got no mortgage. I own this. I own this house. You know, and I'm winning. Like, I mean, winning that some people might be like, some people look at it as like you losing, but no, At the end of the day, I keep my money, you know, and you got to put a fucking payment in. You got an ACH coming out your checking account to pay your mortgage. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got to, you know, reality is reality. Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I don't second myself to say, you know, I really don't, to be honest, like mortgage payments either. I never had one, but I can safe to say I probably don't like them. I don't like. I mean, I remember having to get due like $324 every month or whatever for 24 months. I ain't like that shit. I didn't like that because it was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, at first, man, it just was a clusterfuck. You know, at first it was definitely a clusterfuck. Um, it was, it just, yeah, it was something I ain't even like doing. You know, I ain't like even doing that. You know, but I stomached it. I think every month I was late. It wasn't a month that I wasn't late. I think the farthest I got, I was like 2 months behind or whatever. Um, I probably maybe even overpaid because it was like I had to keep track of the payments because at first I was sending like money orders and then I was sending Zelle payments. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I do not like mortgages. You know, I don't like paying mortgage payments either. I'm pretty certain of that. So, but yeah, I say all that to say, yeah, I mean, I'm still, you know what I'm saying? This shit is like, it's winning. It's winning. Like, I mean, it's winning, man. Like, if I had somebody come in, probably a female, be like, man, yeah, you should go get this mortgage. Yeah, we should go. Man, I don't like this shit, man. We should go and get a mortgage. Then next thing you know, go get a mortgage, go get a house, get a mortgage, and then you know what I'm saying, the pros and the cons of that situation. And when it by, you know what I'm saying, by myself with my own decision, I was winning. Then now I'm losing with a long term mortgage payment possibly. You know, we both should go our separate ways. What, you gonna keep it or what? You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, man. Sometimes people just wanna, gotta be careful, man, who you bring in, because you know somebody come in and then, you know, next thing you know, um, you'll be doing all right. Then next thing you know, you losing bad because you done got somebody involved that they want they want everything right now, and they um they don't want to wait. So yeah, you gotta be careful, man. It's like it's easy to fall off. You know, it's hard to stay on top, and it's hard to even scale. You know, it's hard to stay on top, and it's hard to scale. You know, so definitely consistency is another thing that's also difficult. You know, but right now, you know, I'm definitely getting stronger. You know what I'm saying? And uh, I'm starting to see I'm starting to see a 12 pack. You see a 6 pack, but I'm gonna tell you, a 12 pack is good. You know, and in case you don't know what I'm talking about, a 12 pack is like when you got a stomach, and then you start to see the resemblance of a six pack, but it ain't quite a six pack because you got a little blubber on top of the six pack, so you got a 12 pack. But seeing the 12 pack is a good sign. Usually, when you see a 12 pack, the six pack is up under there. So yeah, man. Um, yep. So yep. I'm not too guilty tonight because I got the day off tomorrow, so I'm chilling right now. That's probably why. Most likely, I probably would have got off of here by now and went to bed because got my little workout in. But I'm gonna get back on here and keep pedaling. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, my pants is definitely sagging because I'm losing waist, my waistline. But yeah, man. A lot of times, yeah. I mean, a lot of people be bored, man. They be rich and bored. You know, you can write a blog article about being rich and bored because it's a thing. You like I said, poor people even be bored. So you think rich people don't be bored? Man, rich people be bored as fuck, man. They be bored as hell. I mean, they be like super bored. And you would think like, hey, you got money, you can go anywhere, you can do anything damn near you want. But nah, it's like they still be bored, man. Be like, oh man, I want to get on. I want to get on the next space flight. How much the next space flight cost? Get on get on one of them space capsules and go to outer space. Oh, it's $10 million. Oh, okay. Let me call my accountant in the morning. Shit, man, people be bored, man. They be bored, man. You know, they probably planned that trip or probably didn't plan it. I don't know. And then next thing you know, they down there and leave 10,000 leagues under the sea. And like I say, I mean, I see a lot of memes and shit talking about like what you gonna do if you get out the submarine and shit, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, it's it's just like, man, at the end of the day, man, these people, man, I mean, damn, man, they got families, they humans. I mean, like, come on, man. Like, I can't co-sign nobody going through even rich motherfuckers. I can't co-sign nobody struggle. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I'm not about to laugh at nobody's struggle, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that. At the end of the day, man, these people probably are either dead already, about to die, and then I'm not about to go just crack jokes and shit and hee ha ha over some people struggling and shit. And just because they rich and shit, that doesn't mean the fuck that you know what I'm saying. Like they get a pass so you can make fun of them and shit. I don't co-sign that shit. That shit weird. That's some weirdo shit. That's that weirdo shit. Like you you know, just like I said, man, you get ran over by a car and then they gonna laugh at your ass. You know, your family gonna go on social media and see you getting run over by a car and people laughing at it, making memes and all kind of shit. It's like these people, man, you gotta really examine these people. You know, these people are They have no emotions. They don't care. They they kind of like dark. Got a lot of people, man, that's online. They are very morbid and dark. They have dark humor. They have no care, no feelings or emotions about shit. And you can see it. It plays out. They expose themselves. You know, they even think that other people will co-sign that shit and whatnot. Like that's why that dude came online talking about, you know, shit. He he stuck his thing in the mom's mouth, and then her 15-year-old daughter came, and then I shit. Why her mama get why she saw her mama get, you know, get my thing jammed up in her mouth. I told her you next, and I look for you know, women honestly that have broken families, and it's like, yeah, you so dark and twisted. You think that everybody else is just as dark and fucked up and twisted as you are, and you literally go online and just put yourself out there to show how twisted and dark you are, and you think that the whole world is just as twisted and dark as you are in your mind, and you think that's normal because you don't have anybody else to tell you. You don't have any friends, you know. Because like I said, these people, man. Once you get over $1 million, you literally even beforehand, you already have no friends. So you have nobody to tell you, hey man, that's fucked up, man. Don't say that, man. Delete that video, man. What the fuck you on, man? You know, you don't have those people. So those people you do need. You do need people to give you an opinion, you know, every now and again. Like, you know, I was shooting groundhogs and I posted on Facebook, and my friend called me. He's like, hey man, I don't know about that, man. You know, you should probably take that down. And then I just, you know, casually looked up the laws in Indiana. Indiana has very free laws. Like it's like a very kind of a freer state than Illinois or a lot of other states. Man, you can kill as many groundhogs you fucking want to. Shit. Like, you know, and I posted it or whatever because, you know, it's like, man, I don't want people to think that you can't get away with this shit. You can kill as many groundhogs you fucking want to in Indiana. I mean, like, I don't think you could. I don't know how they taste or whatever, if it's people eat them, but I don't think they taste that good. But like, I mean, yeah, groundhogs, man. I'm not sure, but I think they'll fuck your house foundation up. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost pretty certain about that. Like, you gotta think, if you got a bunch of fucking groundhog tunnels under your house, that does not help with the foundation. I do not fucking think that groundhogs tunneling under the house helps with a foundation. And you know, this house actually did have some foundation issues. That, by the way, and the motherfucking groundhogs probably had something to do with it because they were running amok before I came here and bought this house. So I mean, they do populate relatively quickly. I saw another one when I was pulling up from work, but it went across the street, and I got my rifle when I went in the house, but I didn't see it. You know, so I mean, even if it's across the street, I'm still bagging it if I can see it. But I didn't see it, so I was like, all right, fuck it, you know. But I ain't seen them on my property. I ain't seen one, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see some more. But I haven't really seen that many of them. I mean, the two that I got, they were definitely trying to tunnel under my house. I mean, and did, but you know, I killed both of them. But it's all it's a lot of groundhogs, man. It's pretty like one thing about Gary and one thing about Indiana. Indiana is very rural. It's not developed like Illinois. Indiana is very country. Once you go, you all you gotta do is go like about I would say 20 miles into Indiana, any given way going to south, you start going into farmland. And that's just 20 miles. Illinois is like extremely developed. Like Chicago, the suburbs, you have to drive about, let's say, you have to drive a good 60 miles west and south from Chicago to go to the country. Like it's that far developed. Like, in Indiana, you go 20 miles, basically 20 miles south. Let's just say south of Indiana, from the Northwest Indiana area, you going into country. It's that short of development. So you got a lot of wildlife, like this deer, all kind of shit, like just just you out in the woods. You know, they didn't really have that much money in Indiana. You know, Illinois was the money state, right? Chicago. So a lot of the reason why Northwest Indiana is so developed and whatnot is because most people got money from traveling to Illinois, working in Illinois, making money in Illinois, and then they brought it back to Northwest Indiana to build up. So, once you go out further, it's like good luck. Just people are just building houses further out because it's not that many houses uh, that are basically close to Illinois. So they building houses further out. But it's still very underdeveloped in Indiana. Indiana has a lot of land, it's cheap, and it's for sale, and it's like it's very country. So it's like it's like a couple states that you can move to that you can literally live. You could if you got a problem with like housing, like trying you having problems with homelessness or you've had problems with homelessness, man, it's states you can go where you can deal with that problem. One of them is Mississippi. Mississippi is like you can get a house in Mississippi that's move in ready for like $20,000. Now you got to deal with Mississippi and you got to live in Mississippi, but it's states you can move in and the housing cost is like extremely low. Like people that live in California, I think that they're living there because they're probably from there and they're living in the tents because maybe their friends and their family are there or some shit. But like, there's places in America you can go and the cost of living is very, very low. And if you're like very well knowledgeable about how to make money, you know how to make money off Amazon or e-commerce or eBay, man, you could like set up shop somewhere and just make a whole bunch of money, literally. You know, you can make money in your sleep. So, I mean, that's the thing about the internet. The internet, you should be able to make money off of the internet. Technically, technically speaking. You should be able to make money off the internet. Like some people might think that they can make money off of YouTube and they get frustrated that they're not making money off of YouTube. But YouTube is a different beast. Um, it's more of a popularity contest. If you're very good at being popular and shit, you'll make money off of YouTube. But if you're not that type of person, I mean, best thing is like, I mean, it's people use YouTube for different things. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's all kinds of niches. You know, you could tell bedtime stories if you got a really good voice, like, and people will listen to it. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff you can do with YouTube. But as far as like having some type of podcast type of format, which is pretty popular, it's a popularity contest. You know, so and you don't even really make that much money. Like, most people don't make that much money off of YouTube. Even the people that you think that are popular, they don't even make that much money. You know, they struggling. In the podcast format, actually, that's not the best format to make money. Like just, you know, basically like even what I'm doing, just talking right now and shit, it's not the best way to make money. The best way to make money is like the Mr. Beast format. Literally the best Mr. Beast format is the best way to make money off of YouTube. Or if you got children, to have like a children's channel. That's those are the top like two ways you can make money off of YouTube. Doing like funny ass shit like every day for a format, challenges and shit like that. Video format, like doing pranks and all kind of the goofy shit. That's the like kind of way where you can make a big following, a whole bunch of people, not talking online for a live stream. Like that's just easy to do because people don't have to be creative to do that. You just open up a live stream like Kwame Brown. He got on YouTube and what with a cell phone and just started talking shit. He started, you know what I'm saying, making money or whatever. He was like, damn, all I gotta do is just turn my cell phone and talk shit. Damn. You know, and then he started beefing with Tommy and all kind of shit. And then that, you know, that situation. But yeah, it's only a few people that could do that. I mean, Kwame Brown can do that because he able to do that. You know, that's the type of person he is. He like to complain and talk shit, but he got a big following because he's Kwame Brown. He was in the NBA. He got a lot of insight. He got a lot of stories and shit like that, unique stories. He know about the other players, you know, all that type of stuff. So he got a big name for himself, you know. I mean, you you might, you know what I'm saying, you just one man, don't nobody know who you are. You know, you gotta develop some type of popularity contest. That's why people be like, you know, beefing with other people and all that crap. I mean, that really doesn't help. I guess to a certain extent, maybe it does in the short term, but really after a while, you start to see the same people that have beefs with everybody. They're just fucked up individuals. They really don't have nowhere to go because they done had beef with everybody, you know. So the reality is just, you know, obviously this person's a fucked up person. They have no friends because every friend that they get, they talk shit about, and then they, you know, even backbite them after they, you know, had some type of disagreement. Then they start telling all of their business. So, you know, basically, that lets you know they wasn't shit in the first place because as soon as something happened, they telling all of your business. They talking about how many kids, how many secret kids you got. I mean, like secret marriages, all kind of shit. Whatever you done told their ass, they gonna tell the world, you know. And it's like, yeah, obviously this person is showing who they are. they basically ain't shit. So, it's obviously you avoid these people, and then eventually, they ain't got nobody that is listening to them because it's like they not, what I'm saying? Nobody want to be involved with people like that. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of this shit is like, yeah, it's a popularity contest. I tried that, but I'm like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna do my own thing, and what I'm saying, try to stay in my lane. My lane is basically personal finance, health, self improvement, spiritual improvement, faith, um, yeah, the whole nine, and that's work for me. I don't make that much money. I'm not gonna say that I make a whole bunch of money, but I do all right. I mean, I don't make a lot of money off of YouTube, but I mean, this is kind of therapeutic for me, and I'm sure it is for other people that's listening. So I mean, it's fine. I mean, I got like few people that rock with me, and you know some people that come in from time to time that used to rock with me or whatever. They done living their life. They come back and check in. It's cool. I ain't got no problem with it. It is what it is. Um, but what I'll say is, yeah, I mean, it's fucking boring a lot of times. It's boring uh to be a winner. Is to be winning, it's fucking boring. It's more exciting, and it's a very exciting and thrill. It's a big thrill to be struggling, to be out like not knowing where your next meal is and trying to look over your shoulder and shit. Some people that's what they like doing. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I've been through some stuff with this house, that I kind of told you about, but probably you probably don't know. But yeah, I had no fucking mechanical services in this house at one time. I had just electricity. I was literally camping out in this house. I mean, now I got all of that plus more. But yeah, like those people. I mean, ain't necessarily that I was looking to do that or whatever, but it was something that had to be done. But now that I got that shit, it's not like not trying to self sabotage myself and go back to struggle. I'm not looking for no struggle. If I can avoid it, I would. And that's why I really, try to be careful of who I bring around myself or whatever I deal with, because I don't want to, deal with anybody that, to be honest, I need someone that can deal with long periods of boredom and concentration. I don't need a fun girl, you know. Not it's not That's not something that is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for no fun girls that constantly gotta be doing something, constantly gotta be going somewhere, spending money. No. Mm-mm. I need somebody that can go over long periods of looking at financial reports, meetings, learning, and just repetition. Just daily repetition. Just same shit every fucking day. Sometimes things is different. Sometimes it's long periods of like changes and things to deal with, but for the most part, things are pretty fucking consistent. And you know, things change. You might be getting busier and shit. Depending on how you scale. But yeah, that's what I like, because that's what my life is going to consist of most likely. It's not. I'm not trying to party like a rock star every day and shit like that. It's just not what I'm on. That's not my wheelhouse. Oh, he said my audio is poor. Sound like I'm far away. Uh, let's see. How about now? Is it better? Because I think let's see how my let me see my phone. Because I was talking like away for a minute. Let's see how I sound. Oh, let's see here. Do a sound check. Sound check. Yeah, it do sound like I'm kind of far away. Let me see here. I mean, I am. I mean, it ain't like I got the phone right to my ear, but I don't know. I mean, it's probably the best it's gonna be because let me see if I got some things open. Yeah, I had a couple applications open, but yeah, I think it should be better. I mean, I have two phones. I have an old iPhone, and then I have my Android. I have like a Motorola Android. The Android works better when I use my cell phone. My iPhone is terrible. It's like I mean that phone like basically I know I need I think what the iPhone is on like the 14 or some shit, 15. I got like an iPhone 8. I mean it does everything I need it to do, but it's like man I ain't really trying to upgrade right now, but probably eventually will. I mean, and then they got Androids. They got some Androids that's like kick ass too, but I prefer iPhone. Um, but yeah, my Android phone I use primarily when I'm at home. I don't have no service on it. It just basically I use my Wi-Fi. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, man. You know, just just working out, man. This is something it's kind of like something I do, like doing it, getting the burn in on the exercise bike and talk, you know. Um, Kind of have a little problem sleeping. I mean, not so much. Well, yeah, I will say, yeah, I do have I do have like some strange sleeping hours. So I just decide to work out during those strange hours. Kind of basically I get off work, and then I take a nap after work, and then I get up about like 10 o'clock, get home like about 6 o'clock, take a nap, then I sleep for a few hours, wake up like 10 o'clock, and then I'm up, and it's like long periods like where I'm up, and then I eventually get tired again. But it's like I just decided to work out during those hours because I'm just up. Um, sometimes I work on my house. I just prepare my shipments, and yeah, in the meantime I just I decide to work out because it's just something I need to do in the first place. To be honest, I should have been doing this for decades ago. I mean, not to say I didn't work out. I mean, normally I used to like play basketball. That was what I used to do to stay fit, and kind of working just don't don't mix with that. So like I think this is very good because working out at home is more convenient. Um only time I could play basketball, like around this time, really, you really can't. Nobody's up. Like, who you gonna play basketball with at 2 o'clock in the morning? Only place I knew that I could do that, get away with that or whatever, it was this franchise in Illinois called Export Fitness. And Export Fitness was 24 hours, and they had a basketball gym. But even if you were like in the gym at like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, might be like one or two people there. But it wasn't like you can go run a 5 on 5 at 2 in the morning. Um, Usually that was like around like evening, like 8 o'clock, maybe 9, 10, you know. But the latest, but like not gonna be able to play no basketball. You might be able to shoot around. You can't play no damn basketball at 2 in the morning, even if you could. So yeah, that's what I do now. But I think a lot of people should do this. Should try to get some type of like exercise equipment. Um, I mean, weights is good because what weights do is it burns fat and then it builds muscle at the same time. But like one thing about like a bike or elliptical machine or a treadmill, you moving, you're doing some type of action, and it's burning calories because a lot of times people are overweight. Both men and women in America have weight issues, and a lot of it is because of overeating. So when you're trying to lose weight, uh, part of it is nutrition, and you gotta like burn calories. You burn calories by exercising. So what is called what burning calories is called is you try to put your body in a state of a caloric deficit. So exercising, burning calories, you put your body in a caloric deficit. So and then you fight laziness, slothiness, and stuff like that. Because see, one of the things I respect about Catholics, right? Catholics have something called the seven deadly sins, and you can't deny that shit. It's certain things, even if it's like fucked up, some of the shit that Catholics do, the Catholic priests and shit do, and stuff like that. But it's certain things you can like take away from like the whole like seven deadly sins thing, right? That shit real. You can't deny that. That's something that affects. That's a human thing. Like that is true. That whole seven deadly sins is true. Greed, lust, envy, wrath. I think it's hate. I'm not sure if it's hate is one of them, but I know greed, lust, envy, wrath, sloth. Uh, I think that's it, like five. I don't know all of them, but yeah, like the sloth part. Yeah, it is people that have an issue with slothiness, just being real slothy. I'm not gonna say that that's something that I have to work. So working, I mean, I ain't what I'm saying, no sloth. I mean, just like most people have burnout from working a job and then they come home and they're burnt out. Exercising it does help with that because you get more energy. When you start to realize when you get home, you're not so tired. You still burned out, but take a little nap and then you recharge. Then you start after a while, you notice that you're less tired. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I do that's one of the biggest takeaways from Catholics, so that I kind of helps me kind of get back grounded, the seven deadly sins. Because the thing is that um a lot of times, yeah, people they they are really trying to be in lust instead of love. You know what I'm saying? People even, a lot of time women they they go through periods where they they're in lust. Even a lot of women, you could even say they have periods where their whole lives they're not so much chasing love, they're chasing lust, you know. Um and they love it, they enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? And then, they get older and then it becomes more complicated. Or even, they say in nursing homes, people are getting busy even in the nursing homes. Like, they getting STDs in the nursing homes. So I guess they go their whole life, but uh, it's a difference between love and lust, obviously. I mean, most people learn that by the time they, get to be a teenager or they late teens, guys, the difference, but um, everybody can be in lust, but in love is a little different. A little different. People know the difference. I mean, some people try to pretend like it's not a difference, or they don't really feel comfortable talking about it, or they don't want to talk about it. But it is a thing, you know. Um, even you have people that they they have, you the whole you ain't getting no pussy thing. It's like, well, you got some people that are religious. They don't want to go after. They're trying to stay away from lust. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people, but I mean, you got some people that, yeah, they don't necessarily want to be in a relationship where it's based out of lust. You know what I'm saying? Um, they want something meaningful. They want something. You know what I'm saying? Some romance, some love. They want a loving relationship. They want somebody. Lust. I can say this, like lust make you wanna, what I'm saying, make you wanna bust, right? But love probably makes you want to build a bus. What I mean is BUS. It makes you want to actually go work for a bus company so you can take care of your wife. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that's not Ebony K. Williams. That's just a little lame joke. But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely a difference. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are, they're chasing lust. You know, and it's like, yeah, you know, it's not something that I value. I don't value that. I used to value that, but I don't value that as much. You know, it's no competition for lust. You know what I'm saying? It's not a competition to get pussy to feel to fulfill your lustful desires. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm sounding like a Catholic priest and shit. So let me calm, let me fall back. But yeah, man, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's that's definitely a takeaway. The seven deadly sins. You can't deny that shit. Definitely can't. What was the best relationship with a woman you ever had? Ooh, wow. Best relationship with a woman that I ever had. Hmm. Hey, I gotta think about that shit. Best relationship. Damn. God damn. I gotta think. Damn, that's a good question. I never really thought about like a relationship. Definitely can say other things, but damn, relationship. Uh, you know what? I have to say, definitely my ex girlfriend. that was probably the best overall relationship that I had. Um, because and yes, I think yeah, she was Catholic. Yeah, I think yeah, she was. Well, she said she was. I think yeah, I think she went to Catholic school. I don't know if she was Protestant or Catholic or is they are they similar or whatever. But yeah, she yeah, that's probably my best relationship I could say. Um, and the reason why I say that is because we were probably more balanced. Um, and she went to private school, Catholic school. She actually went to school with she went to because she was older than me. She was older than me by a year. She went to school with Tom Cruise's ex-wife. Forgot her name. Not his first wife, but the second one, the one that she I forgot her name, but she was like not the blonde chick, not the chick that was in Black in Batman. Um, the other chick, she went to school with her. The one that used to date, she was dating Jamie Foxx. But like basically, she went to Ivy League school. Like that was probably my best so far as I can say relationship because she had the intelligence to have some meaningful conversations without being well. Sometimes she got frustrated, but not not frustrated where she was going to like start swinging on me or some shit. But like we used to have some deep conversations. Overall, we kind of we didn't really see eye to eye to a lot of things, but it was a good balance. She she was into like she liked technology a lot too. Um, it was just she had a lot of closed. The only thing I can say is like she had a lot of closed off things that she didn't want to do. Like the thing, okay, so when I think about her, when I think about this question, I think about my ex-wife and then I think about my ex-girlfriend. And the thing how my ex-wife beat her out in certain things was so my ex-girlfriend, she does make over $100,000 a year. She's has she's a career woman. That's what she was like basically kind of what Kevin Samuels talks about. The modern woman, the career woman, right? Well, my ex-wife, she's not necessarily a traditional woman either, but she's just more of a survival type. She's a survivalist. She she was willing to do things that my ex-girlfriend wasn't able to do or willing to do. She was able to do things a little bit more. Like basically my ex-wife was probably more like the cleanup woman because she was able to do things that my ex-girlfriend had limits to do. Like my ex-girlfriend, she didn't want to get pregnant. It was certain limitations, I'll say, in the bedroom that she was willing to go, even though it was great, but it was certain limits that she was not willing to go. My ex-wife was willing to go. So it's like if my ex-girlfriend was able to go the limits that my ex-wife was gonna go, it would probably even be better. But yeah, she had like a my ex girlfriend had a lot of no's, and it was like a lot of hard no's and a lot of things that she wasn't willing to do. But overall, relationship wise, I would have to say it was better. She was probably the best as far as relationship I've ever had because it's not like I had a lot, but she we didn't have no fist fights. We had arguments. I mean, we didn't have that many arguments as like my ex-wife. I mean, it was a toxic, full toxic relationship. My ex-girlfriend, there was some things that it's like, yeah, I ain't really like. I mean, it was like kind of like because I didn't really have a lot of money at the time. I had like a struggling computer store. Um, she wasn't willing to like kind of do things how I wanted them done, and it was like I really didn't have no say so because it wasn't like I had money invested in my in my decision making. So um, it was just a lot of limits with my ex girlfriend, but we didn't have the problems. I didn't have the problems with her that I had with my ex wife. Like I had no never was no police needing to be called and shit like that with my ex girlfriend. My ex wife, man, it was so bad. The police knew the police knew who we were. Like even we moved in the other town, like the other city, the police knew about like they heard about from the other town over and shit like that. Like when the police know you and they know who the bad couples in the neighborhood that get repeated calls, that's when you know it's time you gotta fucking move on. I don't care if you got kids or no kids. You need to move on. But yeah, it that's that's how I look at it. But some people have never really even had. I talked to a chick. I remember talked to a chick about a year ago. She said she never even had a relationship, and she was like 30 some years old. So there's some people that really haven't really fully lived life like they haven't really fulfilled a lot of things that a lot of people have. Like there's some people that never really had that many relationships or have really fully had a relationship. Like I could be honest, I I haven't really fulfilled a full relationship as far as like a relationship that I'm proud about or I really like. I mean, I've yet to have that. I've never had a relationship like I really wanted. Like I can't tell you. Like there's some people. I'm not gonna name drop, but there's some people that I've talked to and you on YouTube that they said they had a very good relationship. They had a good wife and all this shit, and they were the ones that fucked it up. I can't tell you that I've had that. That ain't me. I haven't had that. Now, have I met some good women in my life and I've been with some good women? Yeah, I have, and I probably fucked it up, but I haven't had like no woman um that I was married to or close to me getting married to that I could say, damn, okay, I fucked it up. Like, nah. Um, I'm even in my 40s, I could say or early 40s, I could say that I have still a lot of life that I have not lived. You know, I mean, um, I'm old, but yeah, I mean, it's like I ain't necessarily gave up or given up, but it's some things in life that I have not done. As far as even just relationships that I haven't accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So um, I didn't know a lot of shit. Like I mean, honestly, I don't think the whole American Christian dating method works for me well. Like I really, to be honest, I don't think that works well for me. Like the whole having sex before marriage, uh, fucking our way to the altar. That shit really, that really doesn't. I don't think that works well. Now, some people they're able to do that, but I wasn't even raised in a family that was the approach. I mean, that wasn't necessarily taught to me. I mean, my father didn't explain like what you need to do. He just basically did. He did. I remember in high school, he didn't want he didn't want girls to call me over the phone. That was how he was able to, you know, kind of stop things. But he didn't explain why. He didn't talk to me and be like, "Hey, man, um, this is the hadith. This is the this is the way of the Muslim to court a woman." He didn't give me the Quran and basically just give me the chapter of Anisa and break down how you court a woman in a Islamic custom or some shit like that. It's a lot of explanations that I had to learn later in life. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that it's some things with the whole like American style having sex, meeting each other, then if things work out, getting married. That favors the men, but it absolutely does not favor women for obvious reasons. And a lot of times, you know, uh, it don't even favor the man. Because even I think both people can waste their time and waste their life um, in that scenario. But I don't think that works. I think you're probably better off. Let's just say, I would say, as far as from what I know, in the over 20 years of dealing with women in America, um, dating, mating, getting married, whatever, the best probably way to probably go about things is probably getting a matchmaker, a professional matchmaker, um, because you absolutely know what you want. If they're good at matchmaking, they can find, and they got a resource or database, they can find women that fit what you're looking for, fit your personality type, and you can kind of weed out things. Now, should you fuck before you go to the altar? Should you test drive? Uh, you know, yeah, I guess. But the thing is that like it's certain customs that you had to marry before you had sex. Um, uh, that helps out women primarily. That actually helps out women if they actually live like that. And that's why some women they try to do that, but they don't really stick to it, or they can't stick to that, or they can't find men to stick to that with them. But um, the thing is that should you test drive? You know, I don't know. I mean, I guess that you gotta find out. If you want to. What I'm saying. If you don't like the ride, right? What I'm saying. You know, that's that's it. Because I mean, the thing is that it's some people that they have they have been with their woman and they had a one night stand and they still with their woman. They got married. There's couples that have gotten married. They met each other and had a one night stand, and they just they clicked and they had chemistry, and that was it. Um, so that's something that I wonder about as far as why is that part of the reason why things don't work with relationships. Women get used up by men. Men, test drive the car. It's like the whole thing is why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? You know, um, I don't know. I mean, it definitely favors. I think it favors men to test drive because, like, what you could just test drive a whole bunch of cars. You could go walk from one lot, test drive a car. Go to another lot, test drive. But after a while, you done had all these test drives. You good. you know. And then you got some women, they let some guy that they want test drive, but then another guy, they don't want to let him get a test drive. And it's like, damn, I mean, you just let this man is a total bum. He didn't even have a car and he doesn't even have a job. And you let him get a test drive and get the keys and drive off the lot. Then this guy, he just want a test drive. He take you out on a nice date. He's got a job, blah blah blah, and then he can't even get a test drive because he seems boring or whatever. It's like, damn, man, what the fuck? What's the problem here? And it's like, man, I mean, that's kind of, man, it's a lot. It's a lot to compact there, but um, I think it's just more of a matchmaking issue than anything. I have to say it's probably more kind of some people need to get like a matchmaker. And that kind of goes into like what's going on with the previous saga with uh, uh, Rebecca Lynn Pope. Um, so Rebecca Lynn Pope basically she was saying a bunch of things about complaining about men, basically black men in America. And the shit that she was complaining about, black women have the same problems, if not worse. Every single line item that she was complaining about, black women have the same problem. She was saying black men are gay. Well, black women are even more gay than black men. For example, if you see on social media or even the behaviors on social media and in society, you see a lot of women, they they're basically having secret gay lifestyles. And even on social media, you'll see women, they'll a woman will post a thirst trap, and then you'll think it'll be men commenting in the comments, like, with the heart emoji and shit like that, or you know, all kind of different gifts talking about, like, how good she looks. You even see women doing that shit. Like, and it's like, that's some gay ass behavior to me. Because if dudes don't do that shit. Dudes don't. You post a picture with you in your workout equipment, or you working out or some shit. Dudes don't get on your comment post talk with showing heart emojis. But women do that shit because it's like, it's acceptable for women to, like, be gay. Like in society, right? Women are it's very, like, common, like women slapping each other on the butt, kissing each other, you know. Uh, that shit seems cute, but the thing is that the second time, like when a woman doesn't like a dude, they say he's gay. That's the first thing they say. Oh, that motherfucker gay, you know. So, and it's like, men don't call women gay though. They don't say that. Men don't be like, oh, look at that gay ass bitch. They don't say that. So it's like, but it's a big thing. Like, women are the biggest population of gay uh overall is black women. Black women are leading in uh populations of women that are saying that they are gay. Basically, they're acknowledging that they are either queer or lesbian, bisexual, trans, uh, all of that shit. And it's like, it's weird. It's weird too. It's kind of weird because these same chicks that say that they gay, they sleep with dudes, you know. Yeah, they sleep with dudes. Like I've slept with chicks that's gay, that's basically they say they gay, but they sleeping with me. And it's like, damn, I mean, wow. So you lesbian, but you know, y'all both sucking my dick at the same time. But it's like, yeah, I mean, everything that she was saying, um, it's not like it's separate from black women. Black women are going to prison at a large rate. She complained about black men going to prison. She complained about black men liking white women. And it's like black women been with white dudes since freaking they landed from the slave ships, and it's not changed. So it's like, I mean, um, everything she complained about, black women were. It's like she was trying to separate black women from black men. And the thing about it is, here's the thing. Here's the whole kit and caboodle. Black men and black women are not inseparable. I live in Gary, Indiana. It's nice parts of Gary, and it's very hood parts of Gary, or ghetto parts of Gary, where it's abandoned buildings and all kind of shit. Um, Black women live in Gary, Indiana, and black men also live in Gary, Indiana. What do I mean by that? Even though black women want to separate themselves from the negative statistics from black men or the black race or whatever you want to call it, it's inseparable. We both are married to one another as far as being black in America. The whole being black in America is inseparable. We're both, they don't just look at, oh, there's black men. No, it's black people. Wherever there's black men, there's black women, there's black children. You know, it's we're inseparable from one another, even though we would like to separate ourselves from one another, but we're inseparable. We're one statistic. It's what's called being black or African American. You know, and it's like, yeah, I mean, she's a matchmaker. That's what she does for a living. And she's probably having a hard time being a matchmaker because um, of all the nuances and the things going on in life and shit like that, and trying to probably find a pool of men for uh, her, the women that she are trying to match with. It's harder. And then another thing is this, right? So with the women that she probably trying to match up to, like I said, when I first started talking about this, like when I first started this live stream, um, black men that make over $100,000 a year, which that's how most that's the barometer of success for professional women, what they want. Black men that make over $100,000 are 1%. That's 1% of the population of black men in America that make over $100,000, six figures. So she's having a hard time finding um, these men to match with her women that she's trying to match up with, and that's why she's complaining. And the thing is that um that's why women actually do go and date other races of men, because it ain't that many black men that make six figures. And then a lot of the times the black men that make six figures, they probably do you probably would see them more commonly with a white woman because that's who they're around. So yeah, I mean, I think definitely something is you know I think matchmaking is like probably you having a hard time meeting a woman. I think matchmaking is the way. You know, I really do. Um uh you say passport. Yeah, it's on my to-do list. You know, I do have to I have to apply for my passport. I called this place, they do expedited passports. They say it's $800 to do an expedited passport. I mean, I think it's worth it, but the thing is that they don't guarantee that you get approved or anything. Like, it's one thing about me, like I do have a record, so the thing about passports, they don't give you your money back, but you still gotta apply. Um, you know, I don't know what the rules are or anything, but um, you know, I have to just apply, do the standard, go to the post office and all of that stuff, and I got to get a photo. But it's on my to-do list. And yeah, that's how that conversation goes. You know, basically going to go get your passport. But the desires of women to have a man to make money, to make six figures, don't help. It doesn't help them going overseas trying to do the same thing because black men overseas are less likely to make over six figures of American dollars. So, I mean, good luck. Good fucking luck on that. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is like a lot of shit is not about the money. Like if women listen to this now on the playback, it's not because I don't have millions of dollars or whatever that I'm telling you this, or I'm broke and I'm telling you this. It's not about the motherfucking money as far as things is concerned. Like, it's about more of the person. You know, what I mean by that is, all right, you can get a lot of the guys that even make six figures, the women don't even like. Okay. They don't like how they look. They don't like how they talk. They don't like their mannerisms. And in the words of Sergeant Willie Pete, they don't want those guys. They defy those guys and don't adhere to them because they don't want to be told what to do. Some women, quite a few women, run away from men that are in a superior position or just are superior men. Because you don't have to be in a superior position to be a superior man or just to even fucking be a man. Or be a man that basically uh only deals with women that listen to you. Basically, a woman that follows what you say to do. Hey, I need you to go to the post office and drop this off. And then after you do this, I need you to cook what I wrote on the menu on the refrigerator. Like, you got women that have problems with following orders from men, from black men. Because this goes back to slavery days. So you got a lot of women that they do not, they have an absolute problem of following, what men say. So that's why they get with men that have an inferior financial reality. Like they don't have enough money to cover their basic needs. They, are financially struggling and stuff like that. So they get with those guys because one, they know that those guys need a place to live. They basically need a lot of shit. So, and they have what they need. So they leverage that to basically tell those men whatever they, have on their mind. So they don't, they don't have to listen to them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those women, the men that quote unquote make six figures or whatever like that, like Ebony K. Williams. Ebony K. Williams is a classic example of a woman that could get a 100K guy, could get a guy that owned a bus company, but she absolutely very much has a problem listening to men. You can see that she does. Any woman that looks good that goes from men to men to men to men to man to men to man, they having a problem with men, obviously. And one of those problems, I bet you, is they don't listen to men. They have a problem listening to men. They don't like to follow men's orders. The only men that they follow and they don't really like to deal with it is the boss that they have at their job, because basically they were conditioned in some form or fashion to be a slave. They don't. You get these women that say this. I listened to two women that say this. One of the women that I listened to say this was just a basic looking broke ass black woman. I posted on my shorts. She said basically the reason I don't listen to black men is because I don't listen to black men because you're just like me. Basically you're a slave. So I only listen to the white man because obviously he running shit. So why am I supposed to listen to you? That's her logic. And you know who else I heard this from? But they said it a different way. I was listening to Real Talk with Yanni. She basically said the same thing. She was like, basically, I rather listen and follow my boss because my boss, has what I need to provide for my, living, than listen to you because you're not running shit. And it's like, yeah, I mean, these are, these are the women that are doing these complaints, that having these live streams with 1,000 viewers, and they got a bunch of women co-signing this shit. And then what the reality is, these women are going to have to choose. A lot of them are already going to have to choose. I mean, they've already chosen because they got kids already. And they have a short window of to where they want to have more children, or if they want to have a family or whatever, or have some type of man, they gotta choose somebody. And they got all of these hangups and problems, and not all of them can deal with white men. These women these women cannot deal with white men at all, a lot of them. And even if they try to deal with them, a lot of times it becomes disastrous. Uh, you know, it becomes a situation to where you know you finding them on the 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock news. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, they don't even, in a lot of cases, even want a white dude because they might not be attracted to them. But they listen to them at their job. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you got that, and then even the guy that doesn't make 100K, that they do deal with, whether it be because they need sexual arousal, whatever the case may be, they obviously don't listen to these guys, and a lot of times they give these guys a living hell. These guys, they deal with these women, and they take all kinds of hell. And I used to be one of those guys. And it's like, I don't give a fuck how less of amount of money I have. I will never deal with that type of shit again. Because it's like, you basically saying because you need a bra so bad, or for whatever reason, you're willing to deal with a bra so bad, you're willing to put up with all kind of shit, because you trying to deal with this woman. And it's like, while you doing that, it's women that will listen to everything you say, they in this country or outside the country, and you're dealing with this woman that ain't worth a hell, because basically that's what you chose. So I mean, yeah, it's a lot of variables involved. I wouldn't complicate this shit. It's not. I don't think it's not complicated. It's only as complicated as you make it. If you got a passport or you want to get a passport and go overseas or something like that, that's what you should do. If you want to deal with people, deal with women in America. You want to deal with women in America and do the passport thing. That's what you could do. Um, it's whatever you want to do, man. I wouldn't complicate this thing. I mean, basically, America, from what I see, honestly, is collapsing. America is collapsing. Okay. Um, you know, it's you're seeing it every day. All I can say, I mean, shoot, I try to take advantage of what's going on and deal with whatever I can deal with, but I mean, it's bigger things and issues to worry about as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I wouldn't complicate it. I mean, if you don't if you want to have a family and shit like that, it's still women in this country that qualify. Um, I would have to say, like, to be honest, a lot of times what people miss is where people fall on their face is they don't they take for granted women that have some type of religious um understanding or spiritual understanding. Like they take those women for granted. Those are the women you probably missed out on that you probably should have focused on. Even myself, when I think about things, it's like, damn, um, I wasn't paying attention to the women that were spiritually grounded or very knowledgeable about the Abrahamic religions, or even whatever religion they have. They Christian, they like heavy into the Bible. What wasn't necessarily a hypocrite. Of course, Muslim women that heavy into the Quran. Like these are the valuable women. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times men overlook these women for whatever reason. A lot of times they just not around them because these women, a lot of times they in some type of temple or mosque or church or whatever. But I'd have to say that yeah, these probably, a lot of women like this are probably the most undervalued women. These are the women that probably will probably listen to you. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my you know kind of $1 million worth of game right there. Because as far as like sex, it's not no competition. There ain't no like how to get laid and all that shit. That ain't the thing. Most people don't. They ain't got no problem with that. They got a problem with they can't find no bitch to listen to them. My problem is it ain't even my problem. Like the rarity that I see is a bitch that'll listen to me. Having sex, getting a bitch to give me some pussy, ain't no problem. Getting a bitch to listen to me, that's more rare. Definitely rare than a woman that's gonna give me some pussy. A good woman that give me some pussy, yeah, I value that. But a woman that'll listen, I can fucking goddamn it build a multi-billion-dollar corporation with some shit like that. You know, um, a whole bunch of them. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean that's what the problem is. A lot of times that's the biggest issue. Like men ain't really got no men ain't really got like they try to say like all these men can't get laid and all that. No, they ain't what it is. Men scared to get in a situation where they're gonna be at some child support court. They're gonna be, getting taken advantage of or whatever, because the bitch don't listen. They rather wait, you know, jag off whatever so they can find a broad. They trying to find a broad that's gonna listen. They gotta go overseas, so be it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. That's what it is for me. I ain't got no problems, man, with no. Even I don't even try. I stopped trying, and I still get laid. But finding a woman that's gonna listen and all that, that's more of the problem. That's that's the serious issue right there. You know what I'm saying? Uh, than getting laid. You know what I'm saying? Some men might have a problem with that too, but I mean, at least for me, I'll say, and a lot of other men, it's like they kind of already gave up because because kind of just how things are in this country, and also like the laws and stuff. But it's like, yeah, man, they just have a problem with these women, man. That they're not listening, or they don't want to listen because they don't really have to. Women don't have to listen to men until they need men, and that's when their tire goes on flat. you know, they knew they do need men. They just pretend like they don't. You know what I'm saying? But they need men. You know what I'm saying? They when they get older, you know what I'm saying, and eventually or whatever. I mean, I don't know. They basically what I did. One of the two things I say, in this channel that I took from other channels that I've had in the past. One of the videos that people missed was, and it was, I know it's valuable because I said it before. It's, my video I did on, it was called, what was the video called? I think it was like running away from submission. Oh no, submit or suffer. Yeah, I mean that went over a lot of people's heads, but submit or suffer is something that I noticed like over 10 years ago. It's something that I said, man, and basically that's basically what's going on. Like these women are running away from submission. They're running away from submission, and they trying to find a way to run away from it. Some they just going, like I said, they know they gotta submit to their job. They deal with it, you know, and that's that. They they don't deal with men that they gotta submit to. Even the men that they talking about they don't want because they can't submit to them. And these men like myself require submission. Most men that have anything that they done worked hard for, yes, they require or desire a dynamic of a woman submitting to their will, that listens, even just a cooperative woman that just listens. Make a deal. Hey, baby, baby, I take out the trash. You cook the food. Deal. All right, deal. Cool. Like they they having a problem with that. Like they don't. You barely can get that right in America, right? In the black community. So that's a problem, and um, these women they still have to deal with that. They still have to, deal with that reality of, if they deal with the man and then they don't submit, then the relationship is over. Then they knew they had a good man, and then they suffering. You know what I'm saying? They suffering the pain and the agony of not having that man and having a good man, and then they don't have anybody to replace that man that they have, and everybody knew they got a good man because they can see they know how things were, and it's an embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? It's a long-term embarrassment, and they suffering from that shit. And it's like, some women, they go to the extreme of like they don't even want to work no job. They don't want to listen to no man, and they just choose to be homeless or live in their car. You know what I'm saying? So it's all kind of stuff, with that. But the thing is that I wouldn't concern myself over it. You know, I wouldn't worry. I mean, you if you know what it is, know what the issue is, just what I'm saying. Like I say, yeah, just if you can get your passport, man, and keep your options open. Like you know, if that's what I'm saying, that's what you want to do. That's fine. I mean, I think you just gotta. From what I do, I just try to consolidate myself to continuous self improvement, and the more I self improve, man, the better it's gonna be. That's what I think, and I'm pretty sure that that's the reality. You know what I'm saying? Just continuous self-improvement, and you know what I'm saying? You know, that's don't take no shit, you know what I'm saying, during the process. Like, don't take no shit from nobody, no bitch, nothing. And when women see that, they don't try. When they know they can sense the men that take shit versus the men that don't take no shit. And you know what I'm saying? They might be curious about the men that don't take no shit, or they might even try to test you, but I mean, it's a way of like kind of like um getting a woman to get on get on board with certain things. Um, kind of even dominating a woman. But I'm not about to talk about that shit on this public sphere. I mean, but Alan Roger Curry, man, that's what he used to do, man. He used to help his clients do shit like that with their women. But um, I'm not gonna necessarily go into that, but um it's like, it's, to me, this is how I look at it. Why even deal with that? Why try to you know what I'm saying, get with a woman and try to dominate a woman to be a certain way and all that shit. It's women that's already that way, that the woman that you trying to struggle with, it's another woman that wouldn't be no struggle whatsoever. Basically, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is, you know that woman when you find her, and you know she might be in this country, she might be outside your city, might be on the other side of town. I mean, might be in a different state, but it's sometimes you got to move around. You know, you could be in a place where it just ain't that many women, like, or ain't that many women in your type. So it's, that's that being said, man, I'm gonna get up off of here. I done got my little workout on. I'm gonna hop in this bathroom and bathtub, and you know I'll see you on the next one.